Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show. Today is Friday, June 20th, 2025. Welcome to another eBay video. Well guys, it's just about officially summer, and I'm wondering if the summer slowdown has already hit you. The summer slowdown is something that happens every year in online commerce, and it's to be expected because people go away. But I'm noticing this year is a lot slower than any of the other preceding years I've ever experienced. And I'm wondering if you agree or disagree with me. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to also be talking about a crazy geriatric story that I'm sure every one of you guys is going to just shake your head in disbelief when you hear. I want to talk about feedback not actually adding up. I'll explain that. And I want to talk a little bit about returns. And basically, before I get started, I'm trying something new this week with the lighting. I don't know if I look any different or if it's any brighter in here. I have a ring light officially enacted. It's on right now, so let me know if the lighting is any better. All right? And if you think this is a lot better and makes a difference, I will start using this every week. So let's get started with today's eBay video. I'm going to start, I think, with, what should we start with? Returns. As I said, sales have been a lot slower, but my returns remain constant. I had two interesting returns this week. I don't mean I only had two returns. I mean I had two interesting returns. One of them was wrong size doesn't fit. And the guy actually had the right vehicle. He purchased the correct item, but I'm 100% sure that he doesn't know how to install it, because in this particular vehicle, if you have the wrong wheel weights on the wheel, you won't be able to get the cover on. And I'm sure that's what happened. But what strikes me as weird is when a customer files for a wrong size doesn't fit, all right, he pays the return shipping back. The return is automatically accepted. But I notice most of the time customers will take 5 or 6 pictures of the item I sent him from different angles. What is the point of that? I know what I sent, all right? The return is automatically accepted. There's no need for 5 or 6 pictures. I mean, are you practicing to be a photographer for the Daily News? I just don't get that. So I had one of them this week. I also had something else unusual I would like your opinion on. About a week ago, somebody sent me a best offer on some alloy wheel center caps. He sent me the best offer. It was reasonable and I accepted it. I shipped the items out. He files for a return, wrong size doesn't fit. But keep in mind, I had a picture of the correct alloy wheel right in the listing. And if you don't have that wheel, it won't fit. Okay? Simple as that. But what makes this a little bit weirder was I had it set to no returns. So when I got the return request, eBay gave me the option to decline the return if I wanted to. My question to you is, if you had been in my position, would you have accepted the return or would you not have? The downside to accepting the return is I'm a little worried that he tried to force them onto a wheel. Obviously, that's not correct and may have broken the backings. So that's to be taken into account. But also, keep in mind, if I don't accept the return, there's a very good chance he'll leave me negative feedback, which all the others last year, in which I did not accept the return, did. But thankfully, I was able to get them removed because every one of them violated policy. So yeah, that's a weird situation that's going on with returns. With feedback, I have been noticing something for months, if not years. And it happened again this morning. I will go to bed, and let's say my last two numbers of my feedback are 51. I get up the next morning, my feedback is still 51. But I will click it, and I will see overnight 2 or 3 positive feedbacks have come in, but they have not increased my feedback number. This is not an isolated incident. This is every single week, bar none. I don't know what's going on. Is it happening to you guys too? Let me know about it if it is. The funny story of the week has to do with, of course, a senior citizen. However, good news. It did not happen to cute Joey, but it happened to a good friend of mine who sells in eBay Motors. And he sent me the screenshots so I know everything's legit on this. You're going to love it. Absolutely love it. So he sold a hub for a Buick, a big dog Buick. And I think we all know the average age of the person who drives a big dog Buick is older. But that means nothing, okay? The item is in great demand. It's hard to get. It's expensive. And it's sold for approximately $55 plus shipping. All right? My friend shipped the item right out. It gets to the buyer. And what does he do? He writes to my friend through eBay messages and says, I am going to return this item. I thought I was getting all 4, not just 1. And in addition, I expected them to be brand new, not used. Now look, there's no crime against being stupid, but everybody has a limit to their stupidity. This moron messed up in at least 3 things that I saw. Number 1, I looked at the listing. The picture clearly showed 1. The title said 1. The description said 1, right? So obviously he's getting 1. Where does he come off think he's getting 4? Also, it clearly said used with some scratches, all right? Where does he think he's getting a brand new one, or 4 brand new ones for that matter? Who in their right mind, what sensible adult would think they're getting 4 factory brand new Buick hubs, brand new, for $55? It doesn't happen, okay? This is something I've been running into myself in eBay Motors with these unrealistic geriatric buyers who think it's 1942. It ain't. It's 2025. Something an older person told me years ago that makes a lot of sense. It's one of the lines I love to use. Money is for the living, not the leaving. Now I'm going to repeat that again. Money is for the living, not the leaving, which means you should spend your money now while you're alive and not worry about leaving it behind to anybody who's not going to appreciate it and who didn't work for it. But yeah, now in addition to all those mistakes, all this geriatric had to do was click on return this item and go through the process. Once again, they're out of step with society. He sends a message to the seller. I'm going to return this. No, you're not. That's not the way it's done. You have to open a return request. Now, when my friend told me this story the other night, I said to him, I bet the guy is older than history. I said, you know what? At this point, his age was not known. I said, let's stop. I said, I want you to Google his name and address right now and tell me how old he is. And he did. 78. No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. But I thought you guys would get a really good chuckle out of this because, like I've said in many videos in the past, it's not unusual for a geriatric to screw up. But to make repeated mistakes in every conceivable manner, well, that's a bit out there. And I think you guys can understand why this kind of thing triggers me. All right? As an eBay Motors seller, I work very hard to make sure I do the compatibility feature, the part numbers, pictures of wheels. It's a lot of work. I have no problem doing it, okay? But when people disregard the information and don't read and then try and blame the seller, yeah, it irritates me, I'm not going to lie. I would like to talk about a couple of other things I've been noticing on eBay. I purchased something the other day because occasionally I need to purchase things for local customers that I don't have here, and the local customers, who are usually older, don't want to go on eBay or any site and buy it, which I can understand because I'm going to actually add money on for my services. So I purchased an item. Well, actually, before I purchased the item, I researched several sellers that had what I wanted. I didn't purchase anything. All I did was put them in my watch list, and I knew what would happen. Within maybe an hour, just as I suspected, offers to watchers started rolling in. If any of you ever need to buy anything in eBay Motors, I swear to you, please, go research the items you want, save a few of them in your watch list. I guarantee you 100%, at least one or two of the sellers will immediately reach out to you sending offers to watchers. Boy, oh boy, some people are hungry. I've never seen so many people responding so quickly with these offers to watchers. Me, I don't. I mean, I love to make money as much as the next guy. I don't send out offers to watchers anymore. I gave up on it because eBay does not require immediate payment and nobody was paying. But if they ever do, well, that's another story. Then I will send out offers to watchers. Also, the amount of nag messages I got from eBay was just sad. And the funny thing is, eBay thinks buyers like this. Now, perhaps they do. I'm only speaking as cute Joey, all right? I bought the item, let's just say 10 o'clock in the morning. Purchase was confirmed, everything. All right. This was a good seller, and he responded quickly. So let's say at 12 o'clock, he printed the label. I get a notification for that. At 2 o'clock, it gets scanned in at the post office. I get a notification for that. 3 hours later, another notification saying the item is going to arrive earlier than expected, maybe 1 day earlier. Why? I don't need all these nag messages. And it was on a very slow day, and every time I heard the music on my phone, I thought maybe I had some kind of potential sale. Nope. It was another nag message about this one single item. This is the kind of thing that would dissuade me from buying on eBay. I don't want to be nagged, all right? I'm not one of these people that's going to track the item and see where it is. It comes when it comes. And as long as it comes, I'm happy. I don't complain unless they don't put up a tracking number. And in that case, we have another issue. So yeah, that happened. I've also been getting an unbelievable amount of lowball offers. When I say low, I mean less than 50% of my asking price. No matter what the item is, no matter how much of a dog it is, it's an automatic decline out of principle. I will not sell my items for less than half my asking price. It's ridiculous. I had one the other day. A guy offered me $90 on an item. So I said, hey, maybe that's not bad. I wonder how much I'm asking for it. I was asking $200. Bang, decline. I will not accept less than half for anything. As I've said before, it could be a pile of mierda. I don't care. All right? It's the principle. All right? So yeah. Another topic I want to talk very briefly about, and I've talked about this before, and it doesn't necessarily pertain only to eBay It happens in real life, and this happened in real life the other day, and it has to do with rush deals never work. Rush deals never work. Okay? Like on eBay, if someone sends you a message and says, I want to buy your item, but you're shipping it through the post office, it's going to take 3 or 4 days. How much is next day shipping? Stop. Run as fast as you can the other way, because no good's going to come of it. Nobody needs the item the next day, all right? All right, it's not going to work out. It's too expensive. Please trust me on this. So, several weeks ago, a guy called me locally, and he wanted 2 hubs for his 22-year-old Toyota. 22 years old. I didn't have them. He wants them badly and asked me if I would order them. So I did. Now, usually when I order something for a customer, I demand a down payment. But I didn't this time because I knew if the guy jerked me, it wouldn't matter because these things are like gold. So if he doesn't buy them, who cares? I'll sell them to someone else. So as I said, I ordered them for him. However, Saturday morning, at 8 o'clock in the morning, he starts texting me. Did you get the hubcaps yet? Where are they? Who texts somebody at 8 a.m. on a Saturday? All right? So I didn't answer. 10 minutes later, same guy. Well, do you have them? Yes or no? Okay? I'm starting to get nervous about this guy. He seems like he might be a little unhinged. I waited till 9:15, let's say. And I responded. I said, hello. I'm waiting till 9:15 to respond to you because I do business during business hours. I don't respond to texts at 8 o'clock in the morning. Nonetheless, I do have your hubs in stock. They came in yesterday. They came in late yesterday. Let me know when you want to come over and get them. And he says to me, are they new? Are they new? The car's 22 years old. I already explained to him on the phone I was getting used ones. He responds back, no. The other 2 I have on my 22-year-old car, I like new. I want new, reconditioned ones. I immediately opted out, told him to get them locally. Hopefully he will. And I will sell these on my own. I have no problem selling used ones. It's a Toyota. Anything you can come across for a Toyota is going to sell. All right? Toyota makes great cars, and people hold on to them. I'm really surprised because usually people with Toyotas are happy to get anything because there's such a demand for the parts. In an unrelated story, I had a similar occurrence happen a few weeks ago. I didn't tell you, but since we're on this topic, I'll tell you now. Once again, a guy with a 22-year-old Toyota wanted me to order him something for his Camry. I did. I got it. I told him it was going to be scratched. He knew it. He knew this going in. I texted him a picture of it. He said, that's too scratched up for me. I want a better one. Bye. I said, good luck. So what does he do? He goes onto Amazon and buys one of those cheap China hubcaps. I don't know what he paid for it, but they're cheap quality, but it doesn't mean they're cheap to buy. I'm going to say he paid at least $30. Gets the item, puts it on, loses it the very next day. And who does he complain to? The guy he never did business with, right here. He says, I bought a brand new one on Amazon the other day and it fell right off. I guess I didn't put it on right. Can you still get me one? I responded with the sounds of silence. Nope. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. You don't want to take my advice? Don't take it. But don't come crying back to me if you're going to buy this cheap China crap. And the last topic I want to talk about, as I said, would be the summer slowdown. It's been unusually slow the last few weeks. Most of the things that are selling are cheap $20, $30 items. Those things seem to be holding their own, but anything expensive over 50 doesn't seem to be going. I don't know what's going on. I know part of the problem has to do with search on eBay. Search is really messed up, especially in eBay Motors. If you type in a car part you want in the search bar there, you're going to get returns of things that have nothing to do with what you want. So be forewarned about that. So that's all I've got to say right now. I'm Crazy New York Driver, you're not. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it informative and enjoyable. And when you respond and when you leave comments, let me know if you like this lighting any better. And if you do, I will continue using it. If not, I won't. I hope you make a ton of money this week on eBay. Rock on and peace.